The other day, I had a horrible dream. In my dream, I turned 80, and then I looked back at my life and I realized that I completely wasted it. I woke up in an anxiety attack, and there was one thing that I told myself: I'll try to do my best to make sure it's not going to happen in real life. And now that I'm approaching my 30s, I realized that it's time to look back at what happened during my 20s. And I just wanted to make this honest reflection for you because I know that chances are you're going through exactly the same phase in your life. Now, the first thing I really regret is not building my network good enough. The more I've grown my career, the more I realized how important networking actually is. If you look at many startups these days, most of them got their first customers through their networks. So it was their former colleagues or some of their friends. I definitely underestimated the value of networking, didn't attend too many events. And I always thought that, I'm just really bad at keeping in touch with people and just, staying connected. But the reality is, you don't even have to. A personal story: I'm now sort of planning to relocate to a different country, and Amsterdam is one option that I'm considering. And just a few months ago, I accidentally got this message from a person that I met around 10 years ago in Finland. And we hopped on a 1 hour call where he told me all the ins and outs about his life in Amsterdam. And he told me that he could introduce me to people there in case I want to relocate. I definitely worked too much. I do not regret choosing my marketing career. It's probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. It's this perfect combination of creativity, working with people, and a pinch of technical stuff. But at the same time, especially right at the beginning of my career, I wanted to go the extra mile and I worked every single day, did something during the night, and of course on the weekends at the expense of socializing. I wish I had perhaps more productivity hacks back then, so that I could free up some hours during my week. Imagine if you can just free up at least 1 hour per week, you're gonna accumulate 7 extra hours. And then you can just grab those 7 hours and you're gonna have so much quality time with your loved ones, with your friends. I definitely did not read that much, and throughout my career, I've met a lot of exceptional people, I gotta say. When I think about them, there is one thing that is clearly evident about them: they do read a lot. A few years ago, I actually started taking some private literature classes, and it was a blast because I finally had this freedom to actually choose what I want to read. So now, actually, my to read list gets expanded every single day, and I simply do not know how to find the time to read all the books that I actually want. But at least something that really helps me to stay motivated and to read more is to pick the books that really interest me. I definitely compared myself to others so much. Don't even get me started here. So this incredible author, Matt Haig, has written a bunch of incredible books. And in one of them, Notes on a Nervous Planet, he puts this simple thing. It's just one sentence on the entire page. The secret to happiness: stop comparing yourself to others. This is another incredible book by him that I really, really recommend everyone just read. So pick a random Sunday, go to a cafe in your neighborhood, go by yourself, that's a must. Grab your most favorite latte, cappuccino, whatnot, and just get immersed into this book. And this is gonna be one of the most memorable Sundays that you're gonna have in a while. I can guarantee that. Now that I'm 28, and when I look back at the time I was 20 and 21, I realized that I just wasted so much time trying to compare myself to others. This is not gonna lead you anywhere. This will always make you feel miserable. There's gonna be always someone that's a bit better, smarter, prettier, whatnot. And then there's you, and you are exactly the kind of person that you're meant to be right now. And the only person you can compare yourself to is yourself a few years ago, I don't know, a decade ago, because this will show your personal development, and this is the most important thing. During my 20s, I definitely did not listen to my inner self well enough. This year, it's gonna be 10 years since I moved to Finland. And I really wanted to move to another country for a really, really long time. But then whenever I brought up this topic with my friends, with some of my relatives, what I always hear is something along these lines. Why do you need to leave? This is such a comfort country. You know, you got a lot of social security. It's safe, clean. And I completely agree with each of this statement. But then there is something else, something that I just genuinely want myself. And now when I look back, I just wonder, why did I even need to listen to other people? Because this all disturbed me from actually focusing on myself and thinking about what I actually want and not what other people want me to do. During my 20s, I also did not travel as much as I could. You know, I live in Finland, and Finnish people are known to be kind of introverted, not super sociable, but then sometimes you bump into those Finnish people who are just, well, they clearly stand out from others. And now I know how to spot this kind of person. They definitely lived abroad, they traveled a lot in their life, because traveling is the best possible experience that you can get in your life. It enriches you so much. Not a single movie, not a single book, not a single mentor in your life can actually make you so fulfilled, can open up so many new experiences in your life, can let you do so many mistakes as when you actually travel and get to explore the world. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I did travel to a bunch of places. This year I even tried to live in Asia for 3 months, but especially at the beginning of my 20s, during my university time, I remember how a bunch of my friends were traveling places. They would go for a weekend, say to Prague or to Germany. And I was just trying to save money, even though I had some finances for that. I don't come from a rich family, but I think I could afford that. But instead, I was trying to maybe save an extra penny, or maybe spend some more time doing some home assignments or stuff like that. I should have definitely traveled much more, especially at the beginning of my 20s. I definitely did not say no enough. I spent quite some time in an unhappy relationship because of that. I've made a bunch of career mistakes, some, small things at work, simply because I could not say a firm no. And again, I was trying to find this reason. What was actually preventing me from saying no? And now I know that it's the fear of being rejected by others. It's the fear of not being understood by others. And now that I'm approaching my 30s, I just get it that there is no need to prove anything to someone. As you can see, I've clearly made a bunch of mistakes. But you know what? The best part, I don't regret a single thing. Because all those mistakes have shaped me and turned me into a person I am right now. I'm not perfect. You are not perfect. And we don't have to be.